Welcome to The Advocates. I'm Aaron Dean. New York City officials are warning of the potential for lone wolf attacks as Israel's war with Hamas continues. New York City has the largest Jewish community in the world outside of Israel. Mayor Eric Adams is warning New Yorkers to stay vigilant. The mayor and the state's governor attended the New York Stands with Israel vigil and rally. He is asking the Jewish community to be cautious of property, including synagogues. Mayor Adams says that the city stands firmly with Israel.
We're not going to say we have a stiff upper lip and act like everything is fine. Everything is not fine. Israel has a right to defend himself, and that's the right that we know.
The FBI says that they will be actively working with the NYPD and community leaders to identify any threats. At least 1,200 people were killed in Israel after Hamas militants poured over the border on October 7th, raiding homes and taking hostages back to Gaza. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is responding to criticism of President Biden's handling of the war. She says that Congress is preparing to build bipartisan support to aid Israel.
Has been excellent. The president has been excellent. And all the response I'm getting from Israel, practically 24/7, has been very grateful to the president for the leadership that he has had, the clarity of his message, and the determination that we'll work together in a bipartisan way to help Israel.
The attack on Israel was unprecedented on a scale not seen on its own territory since the 1948 Arab-Israel War. It has never faced an attack of this magnitude that has taken so many civilian lives. And switching gears, President Biden and Vice President Harris are getting big endorsements from the nation's leading advocacy organizations. The HRC and Equality Pact and National Center for Transgender Equality Action Fund are endorsing Biden and Harris in the 2024 election. All three organizations say that they believe the administration will stand up against the far right's extremist agenda and anti-queer legislation. National Coming Out Day is a reminder that loving yourself and living authentically will always win in the face of hate. TikToker and media personality Eric Sedeño says self-discovery is a journey worth taking. Could you share your story with us about coming out and how it kind of led you to where you are today, being who you are authentically?
Yeah, so I mean, I came out, I don't know if it's like, I wouldn't know if it would, people would say it's like later in life. I wouldn't say it's like later in life, but I came out late compared to like people who come out teenagers. I came out at like 21, 22-ish. And I just like remember I was so scared to tell my parents, and they were like, we know. But I like actually, I feel like I came out to myself when I was 18. And then I started telling all my friends in college, and then I was just kind of still figuring out what exactly like I was. I like didn't know. I think I always knew I was like gay, but I feel like you still like do some exploring where you're like, oh, okay, like I don't like girls at all. Like I thought I did for a second, but I just like their outfits. Like, and then yeah, I don't know. I think like and then when I moved to New York, that's I feel like when I really got into my like it's okay to be myself moment in my brain, where I didn't really have to like overthink everything, or like I didn't have to fit into a certain box of what everybody's supposed to look like as much as there is in Dallas, where I like grew up and went to college. So I feel like New York allowed me to be more myself. And I came out like I said when I was 22, and I just feel really lucky that my parents were like so okay with it. I really wanted to like create a safety net. Like I had a full-time job, I had my own apartment, I had a flight back to New York. Like I knew where I was going. So if I came out and they needed space from me, or I needed space from them, I would have it. But it just kind of just was, it was perfectly fine as soon as I said it.
You provide not only, like you said, enjoyable content, but you also provide resources and tools through your TikTok, your podcast, and, all the platforms that you have. What can queer Latinx visibility do for others who are on their own coming out journey?
I never thought of myself as visibility for people. I never thought of myself as like someone that like someone who was younger would like see my video and see how open and honest I was living. Cause that's just like how honestly before the internet, I was the same person. Before my platform, I was the exact same person. So I feel like I never thought that I was like someone's end goal or someone wishes that they could have what I have, or you know what I mean? Like they could be as open and live as freely. And I just think that's like, it really blows my mind. I had a girl come up to me, which was really shocking because it was like a girl. And she came up to me and she was like, you are one of the reasons I came out. I came out like a few months ago. You're one of the reasons I came out. And it like actually hit me so hard to have someone say that to you in like real life. Like, I don't think like I ever expected for me to be any sort of visibility or be like a reason that people would live more authentically. But I love that I get to do that. I think that also like people getting to see me be like openly gay, and my parents are Catholic, and I don't speak Spanish very well, and I'm just like, it's I am who I am. Like I can't change it.
You know, you talk about on your platforms, you know, self-love and like you said, living authentically. How can people practice that on the daily? What would you say is the best way to, you know, this is how you can practice self-love?
So this is the funniest thing. I feel like I started practicing self-love as a joke to myself. Like I would walk into up to all my friends, and I'd be like, and then it would get to a point, my bit was like, I'm so sexy. Like it was a joke. Like it wasn't something I felt from the inside out. Like that I felt like I liked the way I looked. I felt like I liked the way I acted. I made it a bit, but because I kept saying it out loud, I feel like a part of me just started believing it. And I really think that like projecting what you want into the universe, or like how you want to feel is like really, really important. And I think that, I don't know, I think it's so funny. I really didn't feel like I loved myself. And then one day I like said these jokes and like said all these things out loud enough that I was like, oh, I really do. Like, I love myself. And I don't know if that's like, that works for everyone, but I think like speaking things out into the universe and just saying things like to yourself positively is really, really helpful. I think like I would genuinely look in the mirror and be like, I love you. And I might have been drunk, but I meant it.
But hey, you said it, and look at it now, which kind of leads it to this next question. Do you think that those small steps, those small things, you know, kind of led to something bigger?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like, you know, like in terms of self-love is a journey as a queer person. Like being gay, like I don't think that anyone like immediately loves themselves fully, because society tells you that it's not who you should be. And I think that especially when you're not in a big, I'm so lucky I get to live in New York, and my best friend lives in LA and I'm in LA, and I can be as gay as I want there too. And I feel like big cities give you the space to like be more who you are. And I just grew up in the suburbs of Dallas, and I felt like more constrained. I felt like I had to like live in a box. And I'm so lucky to have the opportunity to like be authentic and live my truth. I think that self-love is like where the journey starts, is like you just have to like accept who you are and that you cannot change it. Because I feel like once you look inside and you're a little bit more introspective and you're like, this is who I am. Like, this is like, I'm gay. And like, once you start living in your truth as a gay person, you find out like, oh, what do I like about being gay? Like, what are the aspects of my femininity that I can live in and enjoy and practice and that bring me joy? And I think it's all about like accepting yourself and just being like, I can't change this. What can I enjoy about it? And that's all you really can do in life. But I feel like, especially as a queer person, like you have to get to a point that you're like, you know what? I can't change it and I love it. And once you do that, your life just gets better.
Thanks so much for watching The Advocates. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to stream us live, and you can even subscribe to our YouTube channel. For The Advocate channel, I'm Aaron Dean.